Shut up, man. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about tactical switches, as Mr. Mike Russo suggested. So, the reason I use the word tactical switch, you know, is changing leads, right? Changing which foot is forward. So you can do it a ton of different ways. But tactical really means that you've gained in time and position of advantage. That's the tactical part, okay? So there's some that are more tactical than others. And in regard to JKD, again, Ted Wong's big message was that JKD is primarily proactive. And so that means that you step as you hit. Okay, that's the idea with your tactical switch, is that you actually step and hit at the same time, not only to gain a time and position of advantage, but to hurt them while you get there, all right? So it's kind of like being a couple steps ahead. The most natural way to do a tactical switch is the step through. But it really doesn't give you, the idea of being off at an angle and have a position of advantage, but you can get a time of advantage that's very unpredictable. So regardless of what happens before, I mean, you probably would already be doing something. Okay, so the step through, okay, is simply stepping through, all right? So even though you don't get the angle, it is really, really unpredictable in regard to, it's what you would call unorthodox method, right? But it's very, very natural just to step through. So stepping back would be another one. Okay, that's very natural. You just, it's just this kind of thing. And in reality, you can hit as you move back and still get power, as long as you have that action, all right? In regard to the angular steps, again, we're familiar with the tactical switches, so what happens before or after, okay? But it's during the time that you hit. I mean, you get that position of advantage and time of advantage as you cause pain. And you have the zigzag, right? And you have the pivot on both sides. Okay? And then if you talk about using a tactical switch not while hitting, okay, that is more along the lines of the lateral triangle. Okay, the other tactical switches are after you have sidestepped and or slipped or whatever on this direction, and you shoot back in this way. That could even be parry hit, okay? So clearly, when I go in this direction, it's the most natural to follow up with my right foot, so that's not a tactical switch, okay? So the tactical switch at that corner becomes the pivot step, okay, in order to make the tactical switch. So again, as we talked about in the Panantukan with the partial stepping, right, these movements here at the angles are representative of it in here as well, of the tactical switch. All right? So that's pretty much it. You can apply it to kicking. I was going to say the quick switch from Muay Thai is something of that along those same lines, right? Where I move this back leg back out of the way in order to switch leads and make it my rear kick, okay? And the JKD version of that is something like that in regard to the pivot kick. So it's boom, 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 okay? This would be waiting for the guy, okay? And this one would be actually using the broken rhythm, okay? So that switch goes this way on this side. So that's the actual tactical switch. So you step back here and go here as well. Okay, all right, that's going to cover it. Have a good one.